Rafael from Real Companhia Velha. I've been following Douro wine for the last 20 years, 22 years actually. And well, the way I met Pablo is thanks to one of the visits back in 2006 in South Carolina in Douro wine. It was times when we were driving with MapQuest. To drive by ourselves with MapQuest, it was very difficult to get the different appointments. So we end up meeting in a tasting, like many consumers that go to Total Wine, and they have beautiful experiences on the tasting tables. In that day, we were behind the tasting tables. We were showing our wines, and well, I'm from Spain, even though I represent a Portuguese company. And that connection, both Spanish, start a friendship from there. And then, as Pablo explained, every year, at least one time, we go to the different stores. With me is Pedro Silvares, member of the family and also winemaker, or winemaker and member of the family, depending on the moment, depending on the day. Okay? Along with us is Federico and also Rafael, so very easy, two Rafaels in the room, okay? Both are from the sales team in the domestic section of market, okay? And will be with us, so if afterwards you need to ask questions also, they will help us to interact. So thank you Total Wines for allowing Douro to be part of this intense and interesting trip. We are from the very far Atlantic side, but we come here to join Pablo with the great wines from Barcelona. And I'll try to explain in 5 minutes 269 years of history. Okay? I'll be fast, I will throw a lot of flashes, okay? But the idea is that in this 7 minutes, we go through the brands that we have with you, the company, the soil, the terroir that we have, and then we go very fast through the portfolio that we have with you. So let's start very quick. The end of the year, maybe early next year, we'll have a Vinho Verde, and who knows what is going to come in the next future. Okay, but the idea is that these routes, okay, that go through Portugal to Santhiago to find with the winemaking team wines that are interesting for the US market. And then we have this new addition, Quinta de Cidro, okay, complements very well Quinta Das Carcalhas. I'll let Pedro to explain with more detail Quinta de Cidro when we taste the wines, and then we go to the next slide. So the company is the oldest company of Portugal, goes back to 1756. First denomination of origin, Douro region, demarcated by this company. It was created by King Don Jose by royal charter. Okay, it's owned since the 60s by the family of Pedro, the family of Silvares. Now is the third generation that is in the company. Pedro belongs to the third generation and is bringing the fourth generation. He just became father a year and a half.
3 years.
3 years already.
So we have the fourth generation already there.
Okay, and we are a company that we have the traditional port, and also we are very good in the production of distilled wines. We are very well known in the country for the production of distilled wines. Normally, the houses in the Douro region just produce port, even though in the last 20 years we see more distilled wines than ever. So the family owns 5 states. 2 of them are with you guys. Organic company with sustainable viticultural practices. We are the first certified sustainable company in the country. Area of 3,000 acres, out of which 1,500 is with vineyards. Ranges from 60 meters to 620 above sea level, 35 different grapes, impossible to pronounce some of them are easier and more known. We have capacity to produce very small lots or big large lots. Actually, we have both things, and we'll go through the range, and I'll point out some of them. So here you have the 5 states. Okay, the key points from Douro region, as I said, since 1756, the oldest denomination of origin. Chianti and Tokai were demarcated first, that it was Douro region, okay, the region that was not only demarcated, but there was established rules for production and rules for marketing. And that's how this denomination of origin started, and that's the first topic. Climate, Mediterranean with cold winters, depending on where you are in the state. I just met someone from Michigan. If I say that Douro is cold, she will laugh. But, and also hot summers, well, we are at the level of Texas, so not bad. Soil schist, which is the type of the state, altitudes from 80 to 700 meters, and the most important varietals, Touriga Nacional, Tinta Roriz, and Touriga Franca, are up to 100, 125. Okay, so this is Quinta Das Carcalhas. As we see, it's a mountain, mostly north exposure, very hot area of the valley, so we get very soft maturations, and it's very interesting, especially for the tonics, or sometimes for the still wines as well. Also, we have the backside. Okay. So as we see here, the property goes around, so we have ranges facing south, facing north, and on top of the hill we have the roundhouse. Okay, so let's go through the range. This is the entry level, a great presentation wine for starting with the range. Is one of the sales drivers of the range, along with the white. The white is crisp and very easy drinking. It's probably one of the fastest growing wines. It started only last vintage with you, and is getting very good results. And Santhiago, as I said, found in the red black section, didn't have enough sugar to be there, so we think that it's better to have it at the Portuguese section, and will have much more success. So if you see it still on the red blend section, please bring it to the other side. Tinto is our best-selling wine, probably known by everybody. We sell more than 7,000 cases. Touriga Nacional is the most important grape, the grape that can introduce the country. Now we start to see that a lot of consumers start to think in Portugal, because Portugal is a trendy destination, and well, this is a possible alternative wine to show. Okay, and then the Reserva, which is my favorite wine, probably is the most value, best value that we have. It's intense, it's powerful and complex, so it's a very interesting wine. And then we have these more high-end wines. We have today, we're going to taste the Branco, and we're going to taste the old vines. We call it also nowadays Viñas Bellas, okay? It means old vines. And then we have this Tinta Francisca, that probably is the less known. Is a grape that goes back to very, very old times. It is part of our rescue program, and sometimes it's misunderstood. Probably from Douro you expect power and intensity, and here we have a delicate and soft style, very close to a pure wine. Okay, it's in only 75 stores. Not everybody has it, but I mean, if you see it, take a look of the wine, because it's very, very interesting. Then we go to ports. We have the Reserva Ruby, the Reserva Tawny. LBB is our best-selling port. Then we do a collection of very old townies, 10, 20, 30, 40. During Christmas time, we presented with a very interesting cardboard box. I think it's very appealing, and it's been working very well. Then we have Colheita, which is a single harvest tonic. Later we'll go through the ports at dessert. Then we have vintage port with different years. And then, well, top wines, we have 50-year-old memories that goes back to 1867. Okay? Today we'll have the opportunity to taste 50-year-old and a surprise. Okay? The gift sets, very important. Okay? We have probably here something that we're going to see today, how we can use and how we can propose to collectors of wine that they have all the tools that you can imagine. Fancy decanters, the most expensive cork screws, riddle glasses, but then when they need to open an old bottle of wine, they don't know how. We'll teach you today how to do it and how we use this tool to open all bottle of wines, not only vintage port. Then we have this collection of miniatures that is very interesting to introduce the people for $30 or $35 to the categories that they can spend $100 or $150. Okay? So here's the presentation I mentioned before, and now I pass the word to Pedro. Okay, he's going to explain about the Cidro, and he's going to explain about the two wines that we have today. From Cidro, actually there are three. We have a Cabernet Sauvignon Nacional at the stores that today we don't have. Okay, we present only the whites, but also there's a third Cidro on your stores.